Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the Hookup on Music. I am your host. My name is Tony, and we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. If you're listening, thank you to the audio of this. We appreciate anybody and everybody who is tuning in. Um, Big news. We are trying for the month of April to get a different guest every week. We have 3 of the 4 guests booked. So we're looking for one more, and then we'll make our huge announcement. Going to be a huge April. So please keep staying tuned. Today, we got a lot of good stuff. We're going to be digging into a lot of different things, from Built to Spill and Dire Straits to some Wu-Tang Clan. We've got some albums here ready to talk about, and a lot more. So let's get started. Again, thank you for tuning in. As always, let's kind of go through a little bit of some live shows to get started. That's going to be coming up around the bend. Okay, coming up that first of all, as talk about a really cool name here. This name, I don't know how, but they found me. All sold out. That is going to be coming to town, which is really actually awesome when you say to yourself, selling out a show these days is definitely what you want to do. And they're coming April 8th for a sold out show, which makes me want to look a little bit deeper into them. And when I do, I will share my findings. We got Lovely the Band coming April 23rd to the Subterranean. Stabbing Westward. Great. Honestly, I think back to a lot of old times listening to Stabbing Westward. I've seen them a couple times, but they're coming to the House of Blues April 26th. If you're interested, Bayside and Finch also going to be coming to town April 29th. So check out those tours. Last week we were talking about a lot of new artists, a lot of stuff that is here and is just on and out there and ready to be heard and seen. And one artist, Frico, who are playing tonight, a kind of a kickoff to tomorrow is the beginning of baseball season. But Frico will also be at Lollapalooza 2024, which we talked about last week. But if you have not checked those guys out yet, I think it's definitely time that you give them a little bit of a listen. Really good stuff. Really worth the time. And if you have not taken the time to listen to them, check out their whole album. Or go on YouTube and you can see some really awesome live performances of the band. Cool little name, Frico, Friko, not Freako, which you would think Frico would be spelled. Another awesome band that we're just kind of checking out, Ducks Limited, a Canadian indie rock duo from Toronto. This new album, Harm's Way, if you have not checked it out, it is definitely awesome. Hollowed Out, really awesome song. They given me a sense of, again, a kind of a sound from the 80s and the 90s, maybe a little bit of I hate to say Ecstasy, Squeeze, but I don't like to make comparisons because they are their own band and we do appreciate them being around. So again, worth the time, worth checking out. And if you have not yet, check out both Frico and Ducks Limited. That being said, if you haven't, or it's been a while, I think it's time you listen to Wu-Tang Clan's Trial. 1997 is when this song was released. Very awesome track by the band. Kind of came out in a time that you wouldn't believe it, but the song, actually, the video with all the pieces was longer than 5 minutes and 38 seconds. But this song just felt like just everybody in line getting together and just one right after another. The music video was something to remember. Brett Ratner directed this music video. And if you're not familiar with who Brett Ratner is, he's directed everything from Red Dragon to X-Men, The Last Stand, the Rush Hour series. Just really just excellent video. A lot of bees. But this is kind of what got me around this time into the band more, was because of the awesome presentation in this music video. RZA, in an interview in 2005, said that it was too long, the radio stations were telling him, that he had to edit. But you know what? Um, it was unheard of at that time to have a rap video this long. And honestly, the chorus and the beats and everything just kind of going on in the song is really awesome. You know, when you think back to you know, 8, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10 guys all getting a verse. You know, old DB really doesn't get a verse. It's 9 guys getting a verse with ODB doing a lot of the interludes, about the saga continuing, Wu-Tang. But again, Triumph, great, great song that always think about quite a bit when I'm thinking about having a good old time. But if it's been a while, check that one out. Just like if it's been a while and you haven't listened to Deftones' Adrenaline, the debut album, check that out. Just that kickoff track right there, Bored, came out October 3rd of 1995, 47 minutes. Interesting album cover because, well, now that I have a child, isn't that something that sucks snot out? But this album does not. Well, it knocks the snot out of you. Just a really blistering affair from this band. 11 songs. Of course, that was Bored that you heard a little while ago to get started. But Minus Blindfold, 1 Week, Nosebleed, Lifter, Root, 7 Words, Birthmark, Engine Number 9, Fire Reel, and there is even a hidden track called Fist. But first time hearing this, again, it was a different metal sound, a sound that I was unfamiliar with, and I could not believe my ears that this is exactly kind of what was going on in the music of heaviness. And getting the chance to see them a couple times and their other albums, the way they've grown after this. Recently, it's been very awesome to kind of go back and take a listen to hear Chino, Stephen Chi, and Abe all kind of what they were working with Terry Date. To me, a really excellent producer of that time, working with Pantera, okay, and working with Incubus, and working with Limp Bizkit, and working with Soulfly, and just all this different stuff. And then they go into the studio and they cut this album in between all of those, but working always and working very diligently to make a really awesome album that I think has just really held up the test of time. Marino, the Chino Marino, Moreno, I think I've pronounced it right. If I ever make a mistake with a pronunciation, I do apologize. I try my best to make sure that I have exactly what I need when presenting. So that being said, I think I got some microphone issue here. Give me a second here. But that's pretty much what we are always looking for here at the Hookup. Hold on here. All right. But there we go. We're back and working. But Adrenaline, definitely worth the time and definitely worth your effort and to rock out to it, because it's really just awesome. If when you look back and you say to yourself too, the recording time on an album like this was really quick, because it's a band again getting started. They don't have that luxury to get the sound down. They have to get it down quick, and they got to keep moving. And well, Deftones did a really awesome job at that, and it's just a really, really great album. And if it's been a while for you, like I always state, go back and take a listen to it, because you're not going to be disappointed. Um, just like our next band. Really awesome to be able to talk tonight about Built to Spill, a band that I've been listening to for quite a long time, a band that's been around since 1992. A lot of good stuff here with this band. This band has 9 studio albums. The most recent coming out in 2022, When the Wind Forgets Your Name, which was really good. You're looking to go back a little bit deeper and further, 1999's Keep It Like a Secret. Really, really good stuff on this album. Carry the Zero, Center of the Universe, Bad Lights, You Were Right, Broken Chairs. Just so much greatness to foresee in this band and we are never ashamed to talk about goodness because a lot of people put this album, Keep It Like a Secret, in the 90s, which came out in 99, but it is in a lot of, Pitchfork did a little bit of a list, and it was in their top 50, okay, which is of the 90s, which is pretty huge. Just a lot of strengths to the band, okay, but like on all the bands that we like here at the Hookup, we like to go back to a little bit further. We like to go back all the way to the beginning of their first album, Ultimate Alternative Waivers. Good studio album. Doug March, who is the leader, he's got very, very excellent vocals, a very distinctive guitar playing style, which honestly, it makes the band what they are. A mix of pop. There's some rock, some folk, some might even say there's a little bit of blues mixed in there. But the band themselves are just always at the forefront of trying to expose the listener to just a brand new experience. And Built to Spill has exactly that. Just really, 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 really excellent. They remind me a lot of some other bands, not like the Drive-By Truckers, but a band that just is willing to switch it up. I like it because a lot of artists just don't do that as much. They don't just jump down and switch it up and make this different experience for the listener. And Doug and the band always, I believe, do that. They're always really, really good at that. And Doug always, there's been a lot of people in and out of the band, which that's no indication. It just kind of switches up the sound of what they're going for. And him being around the longest, I'm sure he has had what I would deem to be probably a say-so in how they're evolving and how they're changing, which, well, that is his right as being the leader of this amazing band. But definitely, if you've never listened to them, even if you jump into 2009, There's No Enemy, getting real started with aisle 13. It's something that being a music fan like we all are, it's definitely going to probably grab you, and you're going to want to listen to all 9 albums, because that's one thing I want to always say here on the Hookup is that if you're listening to any of these bands, try to listen to it all. I know we're very busy, but some of us have the opportunity to put things on in the background, have the opportunity to put on some Freako or some Wu-Tang Clan and just kind of chill out. But keep it like a secret. If you have not listened to that, maybe get started with that and then work in both directions, backwards, frontwards, because you are not going to be disappointed in what you're hearing. Had to bring them up because we have not talked about them too much here on the, or I don't know of at all. So this is a first time. I should get a bell here for a ring, or bing, 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 bing. But Built to Spill was from Boise, Idaho. Again, Boise, Idaho, I don't know, are not known really for their huge, 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 huge different rock scene. I could be, again, wrong with that information, but bands just don't stick out for me from coming from there. So, take a listen to Built to Spill, take a listen to Boise, Idaho's best. Again, you might say I'm wrong. There might be another band that's better than that, but as of right now, this is who we got. So check out Built to Spill, and you're not going to be disappointed. Looking to switch it up, looking to chill out a little bit. Diamond Life by Sade is definitely where I would say you should get started. Okay, album came out in July 16th of 1984. It's 44 minutes long. For a long time, thought Sade, which the name of the vocalist is Sade, but Sade is like kind of like Alice Cooper was at the beginning. They're a band, Stuart Matthewman and Andrew Hale and Paul S. Denman, all kind of make up the Sade band. And just really, if you're looking to kind of look for chill out for a little something different, Sade's got the Chicago, west of Maine, across. Lead vocalist Sade is she's a Nigerian born British singer. Um her voice really, really, really awesome. Played Live Aid, along with Queen at Wembley Stadium. Um, what I would deem them to be is kind of like a tool of R&B and jazz. They're not people who really want to be like in the front of the camera, but if you are familiar with good music, you are definitely have had to have heard something from Sade. Um, that whole Diamond Life album, Hang On to Your Love, is really, really, to me, a heavy driven bass line in the song. Um, really reminds me if you're like driving along the coast with just beautiful weather and beautiful palm trees. Just really, really, really awesome. Um, and her voice just brings all of these songs to the forefront. And they continue again, another band that just cranks out some really good albums, but only 6 albums. From 84 to 2010, only 6 albums, and they're still together. So they don't really put out a whole lot of work or hurry up and jump and record quite a lot. So if you get an opportunity to see them, listen to them, I'd say take that time and do that because, well, her and her band have been around, and every time they come to town, they're not going to be playing your local fair. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they are going to be playing, arenas, and ticket prices are probably sadly going to be a little bit more expensive. But the way I like to look at this stuff is one day they're not going to be around. So maybe it's worth paying for it. It's better than sitting home and being AKA like the Deftones bored. Love that guitar riff. But again, check out Sade's Diamond Life. Really worth it. Really worth your time. I like saying that a lot because all music is worth your time if we're sharing it here down on the hookup because this is why we're doing this because we like to do it and we like to just kind of talk about anything and everything. And, going from Wu-Tang to Built to Spill to Deftones to Sade really puts a smile on my face because that's exactly the reason of why I've decided to do it. So check out the Smooth Operator, which is the band Sade, and start with Diamond Life and work through all those albums because you are not going to regret it. You're just not. Um, just that being said, we're on to our main dish tonight. Lately, I've been just listening to a lot of the Dire Straits, a band that to me came out in just a very unique time. They were formed in '77, just right in first album, and Sultans of Swing, which I know everyone's familiar with, comes out in '78 off their self-titled album. It's just really a crazy time because this is punk, this is new wave, and to me they are just don't have that, I don't think, but maybe they do. Maybe if you listen to it and some of the '80s stuff you will hear some new wave, but to me it just really comes across as just being something that is different for the time. And all the albums were Mark Knopfler, singing lead and playing lead guitar, an excellent, excellent, excellent guitar player. Okay, just his influences draw from everything from folk and blues and country and jazz and pub rock and just a lot of awesome stuff. And John Ilsley is just a really good bass player too. And both of them together on all of these albums are very, very influential to me as somebody who likes great music. Okay, you can just really kind of get started and go through, all of their albums and say, okay, you go with the debut album. Okay, you start the debut album off right off the bat, and um, a lot of good tunes on this debut album. It's the type of debut album where you can listen to the whole thing from front to back and really not be disappointed down to the waterline. It's got a great guitar riff, playing, kind of like a finger picking style. Water of Love, Setting Me Up, Six Blade Knife from Desperado, really good in that. And it's really a smooth track. Second side too, though, of course, the mentioned Sultans of Swing, which everybody knows, but Wild West End, definitely kind of a really cool laid back vibe on that one. Album number 2, Communique, Communique, really kind of a unique album. Both the first 2 album covers are kind of really unique and but there's a song on this second album called Lady Rider. Really good stuff. Again, you could hear a lot of it just in that track right there. A lot of great finger picking. Always great finger picking with Dire Straits. But as their albums continue to go on, these next 2 albums are the ones that I've been really spending a lot of time with. Dire Straits Making Movies and Dire Straits Love Over Gold. Just 2 really, really, really what I would deem to be unique albums for the time. Making Movies comes out in 1980. Okay. Jimmy Iovine produces this album. I like Roy Bataan from Roy Bataan. I don't know why I said it like that. From Bruce Springsteen's band, joins in and plays some keyboard in this. Earlier on the first 2 albums, Mark's brother David was part of the band, and then he leaves. And drummer also on these first 3 albums, Pick Withers, they kind of really, I think, fuel together on this album. There's a track called Romeo and Juliet, another really awesome track that I remember a band I was in high school would play, and honestly, I didn't get it back then, but now I really get it. The thing I like the most about this song, and I like the most about a lot of their songs, if you listen to Love Over Gold, the whole album is pretty much like this, but it gives you just a feeling of thinking and longing and wanting. Just the ending of this track, I really enjoy. You just hear that guitar in that track just really, really sparks and really, really, really just really, really does it, I think, for just an awesome experience. Love Over Gold too starts off the album with a track over 10 minutes long. Any band that has a track over 10 minutes long that starts off an album, I'm probably gonna like it, and so will a lot of other hookup on music fans out there, but definitely worth it. Your time is checking out both of these albums before we kick into their last 2 albums. Of course, Brothers in Arms is just a great piece of work, which first track off that album, So Far Away. If I was making a movie, I'd love to have that track in the movie. Of course, Money for Nothing. Of course, Walk of Life. Play these tracks forever. But you look a little bit deeper into some of these. What's the word I'm looking for? You look a little bit deeper into this album, and you're going to find some really good, more, deep cuts. To me, I like some of the more deeper cuts. Big fan of Right Across the River. Big fan of your latest trick. Big fan of the title cut, Brothers in Arms. Not quite a deep cut, but On Every Street, when that was released, heavy fuel, great lyrics. Check it out. Calling Elvis, like that song quite a lot. I wish, again, I was in a band right now and I could play the guitar pretty well, because I would love to play that song and play it pretty well, because he does that. Recently, what has been going on is that I didn't even realize this, but they've been what's working on. They just came out with some new live album, which is definitely worth your time if you have not checked it out yet. Um, just loaded from 78 to 92 with all of their greatest tracks, but performed live, which Dire Straits live. I didn't even know this was out until I was looking through everything, and just recently came out. Worth your time, worth your effort, always worth your effort checking out anything from Dire Straits. But definitely been a fun time digging through them, digging through a lot of the different sounds, the guitar sounds. All the guitar sounds are the same, and Mark himself has got just a great solo career since the you know since Dire Straits has wrapped up. I mean, he's had 10 solo albums. The last one called One Deep River. Um, it's Mark Knopfler. I mean, if you're into Dire Straits and you're into some of this other stuff, what are you going to miss out? The guitar is awesome. It's really, really, really cool to again hear a band peak on a whole bunch of different levels, and they exactly did this on this live album. So check them all out. Um, folks, we come here every week to kind of just let out these musical things that we share, and always excited to hear things that are coming up, and exciting to hear what the future is going to bring here on the show, because, well, every week it's a new show. 61 episodes is a huge, huge, huge thing, because I remember back in the first couple, I didn't know how this was going to go. And honestly, I really, really love doing this. I love sharing with you awesome things like this great Steve Winwood album. Okay, some Steve Winwood. Okay, we're going all over here tonight. Deftones, Steve Winwood, Tire Love. Okay, great track. Back in the high life again. Like these tracks a lot. Freedom Overspill and Split Decision. Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh is all over this album, and we're big Joe Walsh fans here at the Hookup. So if you have not listened to this, and final looking pretty good here, and I wish I could just toss it and it would just land right on to your basement, land right onto the turntable. But found this one recently for $1. We like to look for deals down here at the Hookup, and this was a great one for $1. So you got any good albums, you got any good deals that you yourself like or you find, please share with us, because we would love to hear what they are. Love to hear about them. Love to hear what they are. All right. Like every episode, we're going to go here and we're going to see what kind of albums we got here. We got some CDs here. Let's get started with a little bit of NXS, Listen Like Thieves. Okay. Great tracks on this album. This time, really good song. That one was really going to get me in the mood for summer. Kiss the Dirt, Falling Down the Mountain. I can't say enough. I wish I was around when this album really first came out. I think I was only, let's see here. Ooh, I was a ripe 3 years old in 1985. I wish I was around, though. I wish I was at least 20, 21, 22 in a hot rod. Listen Like Thieves. My dad was. He said it was a really good time. I just have to then, I guess, live through that. My Morning Jacket, X, Wordless Chorus. Talk about a really unique kickoff to an album. Don Dante, great ending to this album. I'm all in between, off the record, a lot of good jams. What I like about it are the cool koalas. Okay. And I think there's a penguin on the front here. We like penguins. Great album, though, by Jim James there. And, of course, here, what do we got here? We got some amazing, I'm going to show you a cover here. There they are. That's Yes. And this is Fragile. And a lot of people would debate, is it the best of theirs? Is it not the best of theirs? Well, it's Yes. And it's got the fish on it. Great bass track, long distance run around. Of course, everyone knows Roundabout, That's a great track. Thank you so much tonight. Had a really great time talking the Freako, talking a little Wu-Tang, talking Sade, talking this, talking that. Um, Again, we like to make people think, and a lot of this music out there, it will leave you thinking, just like that Dire Straits song I was talking about, Romeo and Juliet. Again, thank you so much for always checking out all the awesome stuff that's going on the Sadistic Penguin Studios. Got some really cool videos down there. Please check out at the show this Friday. We are going to have a little discussion on Roadhouse. Also, next Tuesday, the 2nd of April, we are going to be talking about 90s albums. We'll be joining the amazing It's Getting Drafty in here, and it's going to be a good time. Please check that out. And as always, thank you for joining me tonight on our 61st episode. My name is Tony. This is the Hookup on Music. I hope everybody has a good weekend and enjoys the kickoff to the brand new baseball season. I can't believe it's already upon us. Okay. And one thing I always like to do if your team is down and your team stinks is we'll put the game on and turn those tunes up. Take care, everybody.